Before surfboards, most kids in the 50s settled for riding inflatable rafts.
We ran the surf mat stand at Johnny Mercer's Pier, and we surfed those from the time we were about 14 until we first saw our first surfboard.
Through various influences, surfboards as we know them started making their way to the East Coast in the 1950s. But in 1964, things changed dramatically.
As surfing came along, and as movies and magazines and music and so on and so forth, it popularized and it just exploded exponentially.
Rental boards gave city kids an opportunity to try the sport. California recognized the East and Gulf Coast markets. Young surfers like Yancy Spencer from Pensacola, Florida were setting up shops.
I came from a family that could not afford to buy me surfboards or send me on surf trips or anything like that. So I saw competition as a way to attain those things.
And surfers like Balsa Bill were out filming one of the East Coast's first surfing documentaries, the summer of '67. During that period, beach towns were enacting new laws to restrict or eliminate surfing.
And we actually got arrested, for it and everything, hauled away.
In 1967, the Eastern Surfing Association was founded, while smaller surf clubs and teams lobbied for surfers' rights.
We were not ready for a funeral for surfing in the Cape Fear region.
Meanwhile, the draft was in full swing as the military increased the number of troops heading for Southeast Asia. Some of these people had the opportunity for R&R in Hawaii, fulfilling a need for a good steak, a glass of milk, and more importantly, a chance to ride a few waves. For those returning home, 1967 seemed like another world. Gone were the bubblegum sounds of the early 60s. Music had a message. The Beatles produced Sgt. Pepper. Hendrix stated, "You'll never hear surf music again."
I experimented with marijuana a time or two, and I didn't like it. And didn't inhale, and never tried it again.
Young surfers were traveling the world looking for the perfect, uncrowded wave. By the end of 1968, boards went short, hair went long. Some surfers were in college, while others were getting married. Time passed, the conflict in Southeast Asia ended, tie-dye was out, fashion and disco were in. Reagan took the country conservative. Families were raised and a new generation of surfers was born. It's amazing to look at the equipment people are using. New, lighter designs have allowed surfers to go places we could not have imagined in the 1960s. Through the years, the sport has continued to grow in popularity, and today it's a huge business. Small, independent surf shops still survive in spite of the mega stores. While there's still a need for handcrafted surfboards, mass production has grown as well. Surfers can have their own computer-based designs replicated flawlessly. Surfers like Kip Martin, Shelley Dawson, and Nick Carter joined forces with the Surfrider Foundation. Communication has grown as well. Websites and cell phones are a huge benefit when trying to find a good break.
We didn't have the films, the video. We didn't have what these kids have got now. The quick access, the quick response.
Sitting at a computer screen, looking for waves will never have the same impact as walking over the dune and seeing a perfect wave in the early morning light. Now, here they are, the baby boomers. Some of them never quit, while others are still rediscovering the sport. Over the years, hair has fallen out and boards went long again to support their larger frames. But even with all these changes, the spirit of surfing has not faded. Surfing today is different in many respects, but it's just as much fun as it was back when you rode your first wave.